They say the ocean gives what it gives and takes what it takes. But in 2011, it gave Joao something that shouldn't have existed on a Brazilian beach, and it would change his life for the next 10 years. Nobody on the island would have described Joao as a soft man, 71 years old.
So I'm out on the Rio beach right now.
Weathered face, hands that had pulled nets from the Atlantic for more years than most people care to count. A man who had learned that the ocean gives what it gives and takes what it takes. And you don't argue with either. He had seen enough of life to stop being surprised by it. And then one morning, he walked down to the beach and found something that surprised him completely. It was 2011, Ilha Grande, off the coast of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. A small island, rocky shoreline, the kind of place where fishermen know every stretch of beach the way other people know their own street. Joao was walking the shore when he saw it. A penguin, lying on the rocks, barely moving. It was soaked in thick black oil, so heavy it couldn't even lift its head, dehydrated, starving, alone in a place it had no business being. A Magellanic penguin, a species that breeds in Patagonia and the Falkland Islands, thousands of miles from Ilha Grande. This bird had drifted an impossible distance, lost, dying. Joao stood there and looked at it. He was not a man known for sentiment. He picked it up anyway. He took it home. His neighbors thought he had lost his mind. His family was not entirely sure. They disagreed. A penguin was not a pet. A penguin did not belong in a fisherman's house on a Brazilian island. A penguin soaked in black oil that could barely move was a dying animal, and dying animals were sad, but they were also simply nature doing what nature does. Joao ignored all of this. He spent a week cleaning the oil from the penguin's feathers, carefully, patiently, one section at a time. He fed it fish, small pieces at first, then more. He named it Dindim. The name came from a small girl in the neighborhood who tried to say penguin in Portuguese and produced something that sounded like Dindim. The name stuck. Within a week, Dindim was eating properly. Within 2 weeks, he was following Joao around the house. But here's the thing. This wasn't a pet. This was a wild animal that had every reason to fear humans. Oil spills don't happen by accident. They happen because of human activity. This bird had nearly died because of people, and yet here it was, following a 71-year-old fisherman from the kitchen to the porch to the path down to the water. Not because he was trained to, not because Joao had done anything to encourage it. The penguin simply chose to be wherever the fisherman was. Joao had spent 71 years being the kind of man who did not show what he felt, who expressed care through action rather than words, who would rather fix something than talk about it. He had finally met someone who worked the same way. Every day, Joao took Dindim to the shoreline to swim. The penguin was getting stronger. His feathers were returning to the clean black and white of a healthy bird. He was becoming what he was supposed to be again, and Joao had started to understand that at some point this would mean Dindim would leave. One day, he did. Joao came down to the beach, and Dindim was gone, back into the water, back to wherever penguins go. Joao went back to his nets. He likely figured the ocean had simply taken back what it once gave. That was how the ocean worked. You didn't argue with it. 11 months passed, and then the impossible happened. Dindim came back. He appeared on the beach one morning. The following year, he had traveled thousands of miles from Patagonia, where Magellanic penguins breed, back to a small island off the coast of Rio de Janeiro, back to one specific stretch of rocky shoreline, back to one fisherman. He waddled up the beach. He found Joao. 5,000 miles, not guided by GPS, not guided by any human technology, guided by the stars and the Earth's magnetic field and something else that scientists have studied carefully and still cannot fully explain. Dindim stayed for several months, and then, when his instincts told him it was time, he left again and came back the following year, and the year after that. In 2015, a journalist heard about the fisherman and the penguin. A video was made. The world saw Dindim climb into Joao's lap on the porch, saw Joao's rough fisherman's hands stroking the penguin's feathers with the same patient care he had used to clean the oil away 4 years earlier, saw Dindim make sounds, a specific vocalization that the penguin apparently reserves only for Joao, that researchers say he does not make with anyone else. The story went viral, millions of views, dozens of countries. People cried at their phones watching an old Brazilian fisherman and a penguin sit together in the evening light. Joao was asked what he thought about all the attention. He said, "I love the penguin like it's my own child, and I believe the penguin loves me. No one else is allowed to touch him. He bites everyone who tries." He said it simply, without embellishment. He was not wrong about the biting. Biologists who study Magellanic penguins say this behavior is extraordinarily unusual. Penguins do form strong bonds. They mate for life. They can find their breeding partner among millions of identical birds on a crowded beach year after year, navigating by instincts humans are only beginning to understand. But this, a wild penguin choosing a human, returning to him across an ocean, biting everyone else who came near. The scientists did not have a clean explanation. The fisherman did not feel he needed one. Joao de Souza is now in his 80s. He still lives on Ilha Grande. He still goes to the water. He still waits in June for a particular sound on the beach that means Dindim has come back. But as the years pass, the question isn't just whether Dindim will return. It's what happens when one of them can't make it to the beach anymore. The ocean has no answer for that. Neither does anyone else. There is something worth noticing about this story. Joao did not set out to save a penguin. He did not begin a conservation mission. He had no plan. He walked down to his beach on an ordinary morning, saw something that needed help, picked it up. That was all. No announcement, no documentation, no thought of what it might become. A dying bird, a fisherman's hands, a week of careful, patient work. Everything else, the years of return, the 5,000 miles, the millions of people who watched a video of an old man and a bird on a porch and felt something they could not quite name. Everything else followed from that one moment, from a man who was not known for sentiment, who felt some anyway, and acted on it. The last time Dindim returned, Joao was asked what it feels like when he sees him coming up the beach. He thought about it for a moment. He said, "Every year I think maybe he won't come back. Every year he does." He did not say what that meant to him. He did not need to. You already know.